Service members were killed in the Vietnam War. Estimates show more than 300,000 have died since the war from exposure to Agent Orange. Tonight on The Price of Freedom, take a look at the scope of Agent Orange exposure in Vietnam.
My father fought here. He was a Marine Corps company commander. Not very far from here, in fact, 1966, 1967.
This son and brother of Marines is also the United States ambassador to Vietnam.
We lost my dad about 10 years ago.
Here, speaking to a room of Marines, Marine Corps veterans, and the family of a Marine Corps hero from the war in Vietnam.
We work with Vietnam on assisting people with disabilities.
There are many lingering issues in Vietnam tied to the American war there. One of the big issues is the impact of dioxin used in herbicides such as Agent Orange.
A lot of people were impacted by inhaling Agent Orange, including my dad, we think. But this comes from the drones of Agent Orange that were stored at places like Da Nang Air Base, Bien Hoa Air Base, and it seeps into the soil. This stuff gets into the groundwater, and it gets into the food chain and fish, and people eat it, and it affects unborn children.
Good to see you. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you for having me, Josh.
To better understand the scientifically proven impact of these herbicides, I spoke to Dung Le. He grew up in Vietnam, is now a macroeconomist working in Washington, D.C., and has done extensive research on Agent Orange exposure issues among citizens of Vietnam.
Being nearer to a place that were damaged by dioxin could give you or create a greater likelihood of having health effects. That's something that remains for researchers to really do more and more robust exercise or studies to establish that claim. But you see that there. Anecdotally, you see that there. You see children suffering.
While we were in the country, we followed the ambassador on a trip to get a first-hand look at the impacts from Agent Orange here.
Many of these children here have their disabilities associated with exposure to Agent Orange.
Children, many of them suffering from illnesses. Yes, sir. Hello, sir. You look great, buddy. It's our last official stop of our time here in Vietnam. We're in Da Nang. Many of the children here are suffering from illnesses and health issues related to Agent Orange exposure, decades after the war with the U.S. ended here.
It's visits to this kind of facility assisting disadvantaged kids suffering the effects of Agent Orange dioxin, that we help to build understanding. We can build reconciliation.
You can find our other stories from our trip to Vietnam in the Price of Freedom section of our website. You can also find those stories on my YouTube channel. That's at Josh Rowe. This reporting would not be possible without our sponsor for our part for this trip, Food City.